It's Week 11 of the National Football League.
And we have Amon-Ra St. Brown on center stage. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game.
It's the Lions and the Cards, next on Madden Football.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
They'll run straight ahead with Brooks. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
The numbers for St. Brown a week ago. 5 catches, 68 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
A handoff running left, Brooks. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double-team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking 1 drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. A give left side for Benson. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. You talk about this Lions defense. And they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Howard. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
A give up the middle with Benson.
And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage. Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
Goff now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw is Goff.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their 2nd straight victory.
But they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They run over center with Benson.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Open man here is Benson.
Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. On the toss, it's Benson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They'll go again with Benson. And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. As they've got it as we resume action. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Second down and a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
A give. Here comes Benson.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
A gain of 5. Good enough for the first down.
Gain on the play. That's good for the Cardinals. First down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. This offense so far on third down, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Howard. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Xavier Worthy.
31 yards. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And he's made his presence felt in the passing game throughout the season. You look at the NFL's leader in receiving yards by a running back. His name right there at the top.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 5.
In motion, the tight end. Out of the gun, Goff. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Lions.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now Goff. Little short pass to James. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Goff now looking to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 21, here's 2nd and a couple. Up the middle with Brooks here. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Once again, it's Brooks. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Brooks.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Back to throw, Goff. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's Williams on the catch. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinal offense takes back over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Harrison. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. Howard. He finds his man, complete. That's Benson.
2nd down and 4.
Looking to throw. Howard. He finds his man, complete. It's Benson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
They'll try to run for it with Benson.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Howard. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw.
Howard got a man over the middle, Worthy.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Howard from the gun on third down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break.
35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. Following the fumble recovery, Goff.
That's pulled in by Brooks.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Goff. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Goff. Looking middle, and that's complete. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the gun, here's Goff. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start up at TIAA Bank Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was the visitors from the north, the Vikings, who were able to get the road victory. J.J. McCarthy, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head a little further north up to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The Saints looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, terrific in the win, as his guys upped their mark to 7-4 with the victory. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And this offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, Harrison. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Howard. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Back to throw again.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from 8 yards out.
And the Cardinals have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
Extra point attempt to follow here. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17 to 10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A shotgun snap for Goff. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now it's Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
here's a handoff to Brooks.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
From the 50, it's Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. They run out of the gun with Brooks here.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They'll send a tight end in motion right. Goff now looks to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Here's Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the 3rd quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine, but going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Cardinals offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
The drive will begin with a run by Benson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Howard. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And he is caught. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been flat getting it done, 8 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33.
On the handoff, Benson running right, taken down at the 30.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd and 6. And his throw is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And this one is right down the middle. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. In motion right, that's Williams.
Out of the gun, Goff.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
They'll set up to throw.
This ball taken in here by Brooks.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3.
Goff throwing again.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 39. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw is Goff. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
That pass caught. It's Williams.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
To the air again. Goff.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Now Goff. This is caught.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Brooks.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and in the 4th quarter, this game is tied.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground with Benson.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 48-yard line.
On the give, it's Benson.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Complete to number 86. No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning.
Who wants it more? This is 4th and a yard.
They'll run for it with Smith. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game 4th quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
Right side to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds after his short pickup, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's 2nd down.
Now Goff. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
On 1st and 10, it's Brooks.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
They'll stay on the ground with Brooks.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
All eyes on the Cardinals now. Down by a field goal, 70 seconds remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Gets this to Waller.
I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn into a big game.
He'll look to throw.
He'll get this complete to Worthy. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that.
He's back to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Aiden Hutchinson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Detroit, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.